All right, so today we're here with a college senior, our intern Sam, to spend some time answering questions from our college audience.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Tony. Really appreciate it. So, let's say I'm starting to pay down my student debt. I've built up my emergency fund. What's next? I know investing is a natural next step for a lot of people, but how should I start to think about investing?
Sure. So make sure you're ready first, right? If you have student debt, you want to prioritize that in most senses, unless it's a super low interest rate. You want to get that cash savings set aside. Any other debt maybe that you have out there, maybe you're carrying over some credit card debt or personal loan from college, make sure you prioritize that in most situations. And then after that, you obviously want to think about, how can I take advantage of my biggest asset? Well, for you, in your early 20s, or even sometimes in your late teens, time is your biggest asset. I cannot stress that enough. The biggest asset that you have ahead of you is time. With the power of compounding, which we'll share in other videos as well, so make sure you're subscribed, time is absolutely the biggest asset. It's really easy to take advantage of, but it means you have to start investing at some point early on in your career. So if you're going to do that, you're thinking about extra savings you have after you've saved for your emergency fund, after you started paying debt. Really, I wouldn't recommend anyone to spend hours of research figuring out exactly which stocks or ETFs or mutual funds that they should buy. Certainly there will be people that do that, right? We all have friends that would rather do it, and that's totally fine. They want to do that research, they're the do-it-yourself type, totally get that. I would recommend, though, you have at least a majority of your net worth of investments in broad set of diversified index funds, typically through ETFs. And I would also obviously recommend using a robo-advisor like Wealthfront. Wealthfront has already done the research for you. It's all through a beautiful app that you can use on your phone. It's easy to use. It gives you your time back so that you can spend your 20s or the early part of your career actually enjoying life and not having to worry about picking ETFs and picking different stocks. So I'd recommend you start there and just think about any excess savings beyond kind of those first steps to put towards investing.
So to kind of piggyback off that, I know that there are a lot of different types of investing accounts out there, investment accounts. So how should someone, as either a college student or a recent college graduate, start to be thinking about the different types of investing accounts and which ones are best to open?
Sure. So it was very confusing for me to understand that. I think the easiest one to think about is just your standard brokerage account. You can open that up. There's no restrictions, no income restrictions, no limits, things like that. But I really recommend for especially college graduates like you're going to be, if you're eligible for a Roth IRA and you are covered by an employer-sponsored plan like a 401k, all right, I would highly recommend looking into Roth IRA first. There's a ton of flexibility there. You can use your Roth IRA, for instance, maybe in a few years down the road when you want to buy a home, you can use it for that. There's a lot more flexibility that I don't think everyone understands right away. So I really want to stress that. Right. Obviously, if you have an employer-sponsored plan, such as a 401k, and they do match some contributions, you absolutely don't want to leave that free money on the table. Right. Always contribute to your 401k up to what your employer will match as well. Free money, don't go without that. All right, so if you have the Roth IRA, maybe you have a 401k, then any excess money, you'd maybe want to consider a standard brokerage account. There's no limits, income or contribution-wise, but you'd want to consider that.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. And this kind of leads me into the next question, which is about a very hot topic right now, which is cryptocurrencies. So I have a lot of friends, that have been YOLOing money into meme coins and other kind of alternative cryptocurrencies, as well as Bitcoin and Ethereum. But I think right now people my age are thinking that Bitcoin and just cryptocurrencies overall can be a part of a broader diversified portfolio. So how should someone my age be thinking about incorporating cryptocurrency in a responsible way?
I think I would agree with them. I think cryptocurrency absolutely is a part of our modern economy. How it's going to be used, whether it's government sponsored or just simply an investment on the side, I have no idea. No one really knows. But I absolutely think cryptocurrency is a part of our economy, and it's a part of, I think now, something that you have as part of a broadly diversified portfolio. Right. People who want to put all their life savings in crypto, personally, I wouldn't want to risk that much. It's very volatile. Who knows what's going to happen? But I would say, maybe something like 10% of your net worth. Absolutely, put it in crypto. You're young. You're willing to risk your funds. We've seen, at Wealthfront, we've seen our clients want to take an appetite for higher risk, and that's part of the reason why we built a platform to add crypto onto, was because we saw people want to take more risk. Everyone knows someone who made a bunch of money on crypto in the last year or two, and you want to be a part of it. I get it. I feel the same way. So I think viewing it as a part of a broadly diversified portfolio, you got to have your index funds, you got to have your passive investments as well. Don't make it 100%, but if you want to do 10% of maybe some crypto funds like that, I'm all for it.
Awesome. Thank you.
So Sam, thanks for joining us. Clearly you have some smart friends that are really thinking about their future, and I applaud them for that. So join us next time. Thanks again for coming. My name's Tony from Wealthfront. Take care.